An LLM chain is a simple chain that adds some functionality around language models, or at least that's what the Langchain documents say. In simple terms, essentially what we're doing is we're building multiple steps in a LLM, and we're feeding the output of one step to the input of the next step. Hey, welcome back to another video in this series where I am going to be covering Langchain, OpenAI's API, and LLMs. Today, we're going to have a beginner-focused video on LLM chains. Now, what I'm going to be doing is covering two examples with you guys live coding in Python. The first example is a chain that has two steps, very basic level, where we cover a chat prompt template and then also a model. And we're going to add a little bit more complexity to the second example. We're going to have three steps in this chain. We're going to add in an output parser, specifically a JSON output. Now, if you're not too familiar with output parsers, I recently covered it in another video, so make sure to check that out before we dive into that second example. But you should be able to walk through this first example if you have a very basic understanding of how Langchain works. If you're interested in that, we're about to get started coding in Google Colab. So I have my Google Colab notebook over here. Essentially what we're gonna have to do first is pip install a few things. So pip install OpenAI. And then what I'm also gonna do is pip install Langchain. So pip install Langchain. I'm gonna run both of these and I will be back in about 30 seconds. All right, so once those are both installed in your notebook, import in OS, and then you're gonna set up your API key. So I've covered that already in another video, but we'll put environ like this, and then I'm just gonna put my OpenAI key. So OpenAI API underscore key, right? And then you're gonna say equals, and then you're gonna put your key right in over here. I'm gonna paste mine, but I won't show you specifically what my key is. And remember, your key should start with SK. And then one other thing that I'm gonna do, and I'm just gonna copy in this code over here, is we're gonna import in warnings. There's a few things that are gonna get depreciated in the future. I'm gonna make any updates to the code if anything does change. But because of these warnings on how I import in a few things, I'd rather not it show on every single cell. So remember, I will update any code if it is broken in the near future. So I'm just gonna run that, and I'll send my API key and we should be good to go. All right, and now we're gonna import in a few things before we start building out our first chain. So from typing import list, and list should be capital L, so I do apologize for that one. From langchain.prompts, right there, import in our prompt templates, then from Langchain core.pydantic underscore v1, import our base model and field. Okay. From Langchain.LLMs, import open AI. And this is last line, I believe, is what's going to be depreciated in the future. It should work. What did I have there? Oh, I forgot a G in Langchain. So just make sure that's there and you should be good to go. All right, so let's set up our model. I'm not gonna do anything too crazy. I'm gonna say model equals OpenAI. I'll set a temperature, so temperature equals 0.6, which I've been doing in this series. Temperature is kind of like how crazy your responses are. I mean, this is like very mild on that side of things. And we're going to set up a prompt template. So I actually used a very similar one, or actually I think the same one in another video, but it's a pretty good example to show you the difference between using a chain and not a chain. So prompt template baseball team. Yeah, I used this in my first video in the series. So prompt template like this. And then we're going to have an input variable. So input variables, we're going to say that's equal to our city over here. Okay. Put a comma here at the end. And next, what we're going to do is create our template. So template equals, and I'm going to say create a baseball team name for a MLB team in, and then I'm just going to put the variable here, city. Make sure that this is over here, right? So essentially we're creating this prompt template so we don't have to write out this text every time we run it to the LLM. We can just change out the city. So basic stuff, covered it again in the first video. So we have that. And if we want to see essentially the old way on how we could run this without a chain, all we're going to do is this. So we already called our model over here. So I'm going to say print. We're going to put our model. Then what we're going to have to do on the inside over here is we're going to have to grab this prompt template baseball team. Then you're going to have to do a dot format. Then you're going to put inside here city equals, and I'm going to put in Orlando. So quite a bit of code. It's not horrible, but if we do that, we get the Orlando Thunderbolts. Well, let's now define a chain. So now define a chain. So a chain is going to very simplify this code, and it's actually quite easy in Langchain. So we're going to say chain one. We'll say in chain like V1 because I'm going to do another example a little bit more complicated. So what we're going to say that's equal to, first thing over here, right? We're going to start off with this prompt template baseball team. And then we're going to feed that into a model. So we're going to feed this into this model that we created. Okay. So our output on this prompt template baseball team will go right over here into this. And I also covered how you can see that output, right? So like if we really wanted to see that output over here, you could just do like this before throwing it into the model. So prints. So essentially, right, we're going to say create a baseball team name for MLB team name in Orlando. And that is going to be fed directly into this model, which we initiated in the beginning, right? OpenAI with temperature 0.6. So we essentially created that chain. So that's our chain V1. And now what we're going to have to do is invoke the chain. Now, in the past, some code that you might see on some examples, other YouTube videos or articles online is chain.run. From my research that this is going to be completely depreciated. So now the correct way is to say chain.invoke. Look, Langchain is being updated quite a bit. So things are going to be depreciated and upgraded in the future. So just know that especially with this being a new technology, code will change in the future. So the right way right now is to do chain.invoke. Now, what we still have to do is we have to specify what this city is. So here's how we do that. So I'm just going to say inside over here, city, and then I'm going to just say our city is going to be Orlando once again. So that's also giving me an error because I need to put chain v1.invoke. Now, if I wanted to print this out, let's just surround this with a print statement real quick. So print, and look, this is a lot more cleaner, right? So we had this in the past where we had to put this prompt template, we had to format, we had to put our city in here, we had to bring this to the model. Now we just go to our chain, we invoke it, and we have our city. We say that's Orlando, and Orlando Thunderbolts like that. Now, where this gets really helpful is when you start building out complex chains and you have a lot of interactions going on. And I'll be doing this like later on in this series as I develop my Langchains. And I'll be doing this later on in the series as we do some projects with that. But since this is a beginner video and like pretty early on in this series, we're going to do another example. But this time what we're going to do is we're going to have 3 different things within our chain. So our last video, I covered recently output parsers. And when I was reading up the documentation, they use a lot of chains just to simplify things. That video, I didn't cover chains. That video, I didn't cover chains. And this video, I will be covering specifically how we can use chains with the output parsers. So let's do this. What we're going to say, example output parser. Okay. And there's one other thing that we have to import in. I do apologize. I thought I put everything at the top, but from Langchain core.output parsers, import JSON output parser. It's core, not crow. Like that. Great. And what we have to do with our output parser is first create a class. So I'm going to say class over here, baseball strikeouts and base model. And essentially what this is going to do is it's going to define our JSON output. Now, you don't have to completely understand how this works to get a grasp of how these chains work specifically, because that's kind of the theme of this video, but it is helpful to know. So we're going to put a field in over here, and you set up a description. So description, and we're going to say that's equal to a baseball player name. All right. And then we're going to do one more over here. We're going to say strikeouts, and that's going to be a integer. We're going to say it's equal to field, and then we'll put a description over here. Description equals total career strikeouts, like that. All right. Now our class is here. Basic JSON output, right? Player name and the strikeouts associated with it. Then we're going to say JSON parser equals, and just copy that JSON over here. Then we're going to say Pydantic object equals, and that's going to be equal to this class over here, this baseball strikeouts, right? Okay. And this is just going to essentially make sure that we're in the correct format at the very end. Now we set up our example prompt. So we can say example prompt equals a prompt template. All right. And we're going to say prefix. I'm going to say, I want to find the career total strikeouts for a player. Then template equals, and what we're going to have to do is put format instructions. Then we're going to say /n for a new line. We're going to say player, then /n again. Then our partial variables equals, and format instructions. And don't worry, I'll explain how everything works in a second if you didn't watch the previous video. So format instructions like that. Then we're going to say this JSON parser dot get format instructions, and that is a method. So that should be there. Another comma here at the end, which forgot my commas here. I do a really bad job with that, at least these coding videos. And then lastly, input variables equals player. And I think player is capital P. Yeah. Player, like that. All right, so we're building out our example prompt. I just put a prefix here. Then we have our template. So a template on this side of things, we give it the format instructions. This will print above our player that we input in. This just lets our model know, like, hey, this is the format that we want to see at the very end. Then we have our player that we're going to put into our LLM. And we just have this JSON parser over here. We say .get format instructions. Now, essentially what this does, it helps provide that example of the format instructions, right? Partial variable, because that's not what's going to be inputted in specifically. Our input variable over here is that player. So now we need to create this chain. So we're going to say chain v2 equals. The first thing that we're going to look at is our example prompt, which I just called it example prompts, but example prompts. Next thing that we're going to do is we're going to feed that into our model. Now, I called our model here in the beginning, right? So just put your model over here. And then lastly, we want to have this JSON parser because that's going to be our specific output. Make sure when you're using a JSON parser that you have it in this type of format or it's not going to work properly. So now we have chain v2, okay? And let's invoke this again. So chain v2 chain.invoke. And just like last time, right? First thing we're going to do is call our variable. So we have player over here. And then we have our player name, which I'm going to use Steve Carlton, 1965 baseball rookie card, which I bought when I was a kid. And I sound like I'm really old, but I used to have one of those. I don't have it anymore, but I've had a few in inventory. So chain.invoke, player name, Steve Carlton, and he's a member of the 4,000 strikeout club, 4,136. So pretty cool on that side of things. Just to quickly recap, just a very basic way on how we can specifically do that. From a very basic level, right? We called our model. We created a prompt template over here. Essentially what we do for our chain is we're chaining together this prompt template as well as that specific model. I showed you how over here, right? We have our model on the outside that takes in our prompt template. We format that with our city in this example over here. So what we have over here for this side of things, the output is the input to the next step. That's how a chain specifically works, right? This is a basic chain with 2 examples. I highly recommend that you play around with this and test it with your own exact example of an LLM, but that's the 2 version. And then when we want to have a example of a chain with 3 things going on, right? I wanted to take a look at a output parser because we just covered that. And also a lot of the documentation is based around this. So example prompt, then we have our model, and then we have finally our JSON parser here at the end. So if you're not familiar with this JSON parser, make sure to watch that video to understand how that specifically works. And I also covered CSVs in there as well. Hey, you made it to the end of the video, which means you learned something new about chains. Well, congrats on learning that. I know it sounds pretty complicated, and at the beginning when you start learning Langchain, it definitely seems like it is, but really it's not, and helps simplify your code. Now, since I do make these videos for free, I would appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel. YouTube charges nothing for it, but it does show the algorithm that people that watch data science or AI videos care about the channel and appreciate the content over here. And also I upload 2 to 3 videos every single week. Now, if you want to continue to learn more about Langchain, OpenAI's API, or even AI, I'm building out a full playlist right over here, and I'm going to be expanding it a lot this year.